Yes, sir. Just to clarify po, this 400,000 already received po the first tranche through the DOLE and the DA po. So what they are expecting is for the second tranche na po, which is the top-up po, sir. So they received po from DOLE and DA na already.
Mr. Chair, ano ang problema kasi? For example, in Camarines Sur, 5,000 ang regional wage rate na binigay sa amin. Ngayon yung DOLE, ang binigay nila is 310 based on the minimum wage times 10 days. So, kulang. So, yung sinasabing tinapap ng DOLE na 3,1, dapat 5,000 yon. So, I'm saying, kung nakatanggap man, kulang. So, sana nakalagay sa batas 5,000 to 8,000, nakalagay doon per region, for example, sa Bicol, dapat yung 400,000 na yon hindi nag-rely sa DOLE at DA. Because alam ko yung DA, yung Rice Farmer Assistance Program na yan, hindi naman po related sa COVID yan, dahil ako po ang isang author niyan, kaya po nagkaroon ng Rice Farmer Assistance Program, Mr. Chair, is napakababa ng presyo ng palay. From 20 pesos per kilo, naging 10 to 11. Kaya nag-isip po tayo ng programa para mabigyan sila ng tulong. Ang nangyari, tinamaan ng COVID. So ang nangyari, dati na po silang mahirap sa rice sa presyo ng palay, mababang presyo ng kopra, tapos tinamaan pa sila ng African swine fever, na COVID pa sila. So yun ang point ko. It's due them, Mr. Chair. So sana paki-fast track yan. Then ang next question ko po ay... nagkaroon kasi ng problema nag-decide either DSWD ang IATF na 18 million yan. Then I think nagbawas kayo ng 10% ba para ang tawag diyan, flexibility nyo. Kasi when we first had the meeting with the DSWD, nagbigay po sila Camarines Sur, Bulacan, number of beneficiaries. Pero pagbaba ng subform, binawasan yata ng 10%. Can you confirm why you deducted 10% or a percentage?
Yusek Pamonag, who will answer? Yusek Rilova.
No, sir. Wala pong binawas na 10%.
Ma'am, ikaw yung kausap ko, Asek Glenda. You said that nagbawas ng something percent just in order na... I remember you telling me na nagbawas kayo ng 10% just in case may doble or may from other sources. Yun na nga yung DOLE, DA. I remember you saying that. I think you sent me an email.
Yung buffer po na binawas.
Yeah, the buffer. How many percent is the buffer?
Not all regions po. Kasi yung pong iba, sir, after, nung pong nakapamigay na sila, saka po lumabas yung resolution ng top-up. So other regions cannot comply with the buffer. So may ilang regions lang po, specifically sa Region 1, CAR 12, sila lang po yung nag-buffer, sir.
Kasama ang Bicol dun, ma'am, Region 5. May buffer.
Sir, wala pong buffer ang 5.
Alam ko meron, kasi based on the record that the Camarines Sur will be getting around almost 80%, but ang dumating lang less than 70. Anyway, I will not argue with you.
Apo. Sure
But
po, wala
paki-check
po.
lang. Then secondly, Mr. Chair, ang tanong ko kasi, when aside from yung rate, may problema dun sa number. Bakit? For example, NCR, Region 4A, and 3 were the most affected in COVID. But based on the numbers determined by DSWD or the IATF, I think mga 50-60% lang ang makakakuha. And yet they're the most affected. No? However, in other provinces, 90+% ang nakakuha despite the fact na zero COVID. So, ang tanong ko, moving forward, tama ba itong ginawa ba natin o may pagkakamali na hindi naman namin dinidirect point sa inyo, no? But, di ba, NCR 4A and Region 3, I think, na highly populated area, na marami ng COVID, pero ang allocation napakaliit. Mr. Chair, maybe they can clarify that because in the future, para malaman po natin.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Villafrante. That's the last question. So,
Mr. Chair, si Mickey Villago manifested that she will give me her time.
yes. Undersecretary Pamonag, who will be replying from the SWD. Go ahead. So the question of the Deputy Speaker, kung yun yung palagay niyo po, itong strategy tama kasi may mga iba, walang COVID, 90% distribution ng SAP. Yung iba naman, 50-60%, pero may mga COVID cases. As a matter of strategy, tama po ba?
We take note on that. And actually, we were discussing it with the SAP Technical Working Group.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Chair, ito pang tanong ko, very important, no? Kasi gusto kong tanungin, qualified ba ang senior citizen, head of family coming from a low-income group? Qualified ba sila sa SAP? Senior citizen, head of a family coming from a low-income group, are they qualified?
Go ahead, Yusek.
Yes, Your Honor, I would like to ask Glenda to answer that.
Yes, Mr. Chair. If the senior citizen is the head of the family, they are qualified to receive the SAP. As well as if the families has members of senior citizen, they shall be prioritized as eligible for SAP.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Talaga po, ma-qualified sila because I'm one of the principal author of the law. I read the circular, qualified. However, implementation po sa ground, it's not the case. Why? Because pag nagtumatanggap na raw ng social pension, hindi na raw qualified. So, ma'am, marami nakikinig po sa akin ngayon, sigurado. Maraming hindi nakatanggap na head of the family, senior citizen, dahil ang sabi raw ng DSWD ay hindi na sila qualified dahil tumatanggap na sila ng social pension, ma'am. So please, ma'am, malinaw sa circular, qualified sila. Kausap ko rin po ang maraming tao, senior citizen, dinisqualify sila dahil may SOCPE na raw. So it's on record qualified. So please make sure, napapakinggan po tayo ng publiko ngayon, qualified sila, head of a family. Pero ma'am, again, may mga regional director po na nag-decided din on their own. Ang sagot po nila ay hindi sila qualified dahil may social pension.
Tamang-tama, DSL Ray, kasunod mo si representative ng senior citizens, nakadocument yung mga ganyang mga sitwasyon. Go ahead, DSL.
And in-interview rin ako ni Erwin Tulfo. Sabi niya kung pwedeng tanungin ko to. Kasi sa kanya rin, sa kanyang opisina, ang dami rin reklamo. So, yun. Then, ang tanong ko po, hindi kasalanan ng DSWD naman lahat. Meron rin mga LGU na abusado, pinulitika, kapitan, mayor. Ang tanong ko po, ano ba aksyon ng DSWD dito sa mga abusadong opisyalis na ng gobyerno, ng politika, na nabigay ng mga kamag-anak nila, mga unqualified? Ano pa ang mga aksyon nyo dito na ginagawa? Mr. Chair.
Pumunag.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. We have an arrangement already with DILG. Sila po yung sa mga anomalies, mga kaso. So, sila po ang tumitingin dito sa mga kaso na to for filing of administrative cases if warranted.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, I would like to manifest. Marami po nagte-text sa akin, marami akong dokumento dito ng affidavit. Gusto kong i-manifest po, Mr. Chair, kung pwede bang ipasabpina natin, particularly City of Iriga in Camarines Sur, dahil marami pong reports sa akin na nakareceive, documented with affidavits, na ang mayor doon ay may eskwelahan, may eskwelahan na privately owned, University of Northeastern Philippines, UNEP, at maraming report po, may affidavit na rin, na ang mayor po doon, binigyan niya po ng SAP ang mga empleyado ng university niya, which is illegal. So may I request the DSWD po, through this committee, subpoena po natin dahil ayaw po i-submit because this is a clear case of anomaly. And itong ginawa ng mayor sa Iriga City, sa aming probinsya, na binigyan niya po ang mga teacher ng isang eskwelahan na sila ang may-ari, ay dapat parusahan yan. And I think we should ask DSWD, do you agree with me kung may anomalya dapat parusahan?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. All received grievances are referred to DILG and law enforcement agencies like the PNP and NBI. Under
Mr. Chair,
our
Mr. Chair, I will provide the DSWD copies today or tomorrow of these affidavits and proof. But Mr. Chair, may I request this committee subpoena yung the SAP beneficiaries of the City of Iriga para lang malaman po natin, hindi to politika, hindi to po para malaman po ng taong bayan na itong mga abusado na to ay dapat ay matuto. Hindi pwedeng ang dami nagugutom, bibigyan nila yung empleyado nila, teacher pa man din, ng mga SAP, Mr. Chair. Maybe
The DSWD is directed to give the documents of the SAP beneficiaries in the City of
Iriga in Camarines Sur. And
and
Mr.
Camarines
Chair, I
Sur.
would like to manifest that
the documents on the City of Iriga and Camarines Sur so ordered. Yes,
Thank
go
you,
ahead.
Mr. Chair. And kung may susunod na hearing pa tayo, I am willing to present witnesses, testimonies to guide the DSWD. It can be in aid of legislation. Ito mga anomaly yung nangyari po.
DSLV, there will be a time, I would think, that we will take up the problems in the LGUs as what was presented. Kanina, nag-present na yung ating chairman, yung mga naging problema magmula sa city, mga barangays. And of course, yung committee po natin open para makita natin yung naging problema, mapag-aralan natin ng tama, para nang sa ganun, sa darating na panahon, makorek po natin mga problemang to. Go ahead, DSLV.
Then, Mr. Chair, ito, marami nagtatanong ng aking kababayan. Ako po author ng Bayanihan Law. Tinatanong nila, Congressman, bakit po ang mga area ng GCQ hindi na po bibigyan ng second tranche na malinaw naman po doon sa Section 4 ng Bayanihan to Hilas 1 Act na 18 million households for 2 months. Ang gusto ko lang malaman, ano ba ang opinion ng DSW dito? Dahil malinaw naman po sa batas, nakalagay 18 million households for 2 months. At ang balita po ngayon ay ang bibigyan na lang daw yung nag-ECQ. So, paano naman po yung wala naman nakalagay po doon sa batas na qualification na ECQ, GCQ. Ang sabi, 18 million households for 2 months. Ano ba ang opinion nyo dito? Dahil
Yusek
batas po
Kumara.
to.
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, yung basis po ng pagbigay natin ng emergency subsidy for the second tranche are those EO number 112, Series 20, dated 30 April, wherein sinabi niya rito na yung NCR, Region 3 except Aurora, Region 4A, Benguet, Pangasinan, Iloilo, Cebu Province, Bacolod City, and Davao City. Now, on May 2, through the Memorandum of Executive Secretary, in-include din dito yung Albay Province and Zamboanga City. So if you would see, these are dated April 30 and May 2. Now, as time progressed, yung iba rito naging GCQ na. However, kahit naging GCQ sila, yung mga areas that I mentioned, they're still covered under the second tranche. While it's true na GCQ na sila, but since nung declaration ng April 30 and May 2, they all fall under ECQ, so they are still covered ng emergency subsidy fund.
Mr. Chair, just like to point out Section 4, Paragraph C, provide an emergency subsidy to around 18 million low-income households, provided that the subsidy shall amount to a minimum of 5,000 to a maximum of 8,000 a month for 2 months. Wala pong qualification dito, Mr. Chair, ECQ, GCQ. My point being, ang Camarines Sur po ay GCQ na as of May, but we should not be punished, we should be rewarded for having strict border controls, for having a test, isolation, and treatment facility. That's why COVID is low. We should not be punished for having GCQ and low COVID cases. I think the people of Camarines Sur, and I think our colleagues would agree with me, in other provinces where there's GCQ, they deserve a second month. Why? Because the lockdown lasted for more than 2 months, 3 months, and even despite na GCQ na tayo, people are suffering, walang trabaho, walang hanap buhay. So I think malinaw naman po sa batas yan. I think pag-aralan maigi po to dahil there will be a problem, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Well, actually, Yusek Mamunag, that was a sentiment na gustong iparating sa inyo ng ating Deputy Speaker Villaferte. Baka pwedeng ma-erase din to sa IATF. In fact, the Bayanihan to Ilac is very clear. Wala naman pong dinistinguish na ECQ, GCQ. At yun nga po yung pinupunto na kung ikaw ay GCQ, kailangan maprotektahan ka pa rin eh. As much as possible, minimal pa rin yung paglabas ng mga tao for social contact.
Mr. Chair, ano na lang, konti na lang. Gusto ko lang malaman, ano ba ang probinsya ang number one, pinakamabilis nag-distribute na SAP, pinakamabilis nag-liquidate, ano ba ang probinsya ang hindi? At for purposes of the future, bakit sila mabilis, bakit mabagal? I would just like to have an idea. For example, can you give me the top 3 provinces who are able to distribute the SAP in an expeditious manner, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead, Yusek.
May I ask the Secretariat to flash yung percentage of distribution?
Percentage, Yusek, and time frame, because percentage can be high, but if it's very long, pareho din. Time frame, I think, would be the more critical factor in the distribution.
Tama po si
Yes,
Mr.
and
Chair.
one of these Mr. Chair, Your Honor, is the leadership of the local chief executives.
Yes.
So if we have a very good local chief executive, of course, distribution will be made easier and faster.
Deputy Speaker Villafuerte, pabang kung sineset
sige.
up, baka po gusto niyong itanong muna yung ano, iba pa?
Hindi, yung ano lang, lilininaw ko na yung tanong po ni Congressman Bumble, malino naman po siguro sa atin na ang SAP is different from AX. I-clarify lang po natin, Mr. Chair, kasi while we're all working hard here, nagkakaroon ng dysfunction within the RDs and the USECs, and the people are suffering. So, may I suggest the DSWD, I think we're here to help you. Sana ayusin natin ang mga problema sa ground. Kasi while the USEC Amy has already issued memorandums clarifying that there's a difference between SAP and the AX, meron na naman may mga RDs na nag-i-issue na mag-expire raw bukas ang bayanihan. Kaya yung dinownload raw sa LGU ng mga AX, kailangan ibalik na. Ano bang sagot diyan? Kasi malinaw naman po that SAP is different from AX. The AX will not expire. Maybe Yusek Amy can clarify para naririnig na ng mga ibang regional director at mga provincial social worker development sa probinsya po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Deputy El Rey. Good afternoon again,
Mr.
Mr.
Terry, go
Chair.
ahead.
If I may, we have already prepared a guidance to all regional directors that those downloaded under AX will not expire coterminous with the Bayanihan Tuwil as one Act. As we have emphasized, it is different and distinct from the emergency subsidy. We will furnish that guidance notes. We will furnish this body the guidance notes that will be cascaded to all regional directors.
Thank you so
Thank
much, Yusek Neri. Deputy Speaker Villafuerte, naka-flash na po yung inyong tinatanong kanina.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Siguro kung I will do a second round. Thank you for the opportunity. Maraming salamat po.
Mr. Chair, yung tanong niyo po kanina dun sa kung ano yung pinakamabilis.
Yeah, pwede bang sagutin muna?
Ito na po, nakapost na po. Ano yung pinakamabilis?
Yes.
Hindi namin makita po eh. Sino ba ang top 5 man lang or something?
Region 7 po ba yan?
Is that by region or per province, Mr. Chair?
Yes. As shown on the screen, we have Caraga,
By region?
yes, Region 5, Region 1, 4A, and Region 8, including Region 9, Region 11, and NCR. All of them got 100% payout already.
Maganda naman po at least more than half naman pala ay ng 100% na makomplete. So at least I think Mr. Chair, yung mga proseso na lang i-simplify natin at I think we should trust the people more. Then I'm happy that we will already move forward with digital payments na kailangan, and I think we should fast track the national ID. And masaya rin ako, Region 5 coming from Bicol 100%. So thank you, Mr. Chair. And lastly na lang, yung point ko kanina dun sa barcode to prevent duplication. I have here a June 19 Philippine Star article, Mr. Chair, that there are 22,000 duplicate SAP beneficiaries found. So I think hindi kailangan itong barcode na to because despite that fact, nagkaroon pa rin ng ganito. Kasi ang point ko lang, bakit ang tax payment ng BR wala namang barcode? Kung meron man QR code, universal for all. So I think while we want to protect and duplication, I think let's find, Mr. Chair, other ways aside from yung mga tedious na high technology na I think will delay. High technology dapat yung payment. But the form, I think, is simplified. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Your Honors.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Villafuerte.